So I want to hear what a Scooby would sound like on a Pharrell kind of beat.
After listening to a song, you can almost kind of create your own little video in your mind. You know, you're riding along and whatever little imagery is going on. I'm like, no, if I'm gonna put a gun in your hand and say, what life you rep? What life you rep, boy? Gangsta style.
Man, I hope this podcast does good today, man. It's gonna be very good.
Too, man. Oh man, look at Scooby is always sleeping, man.
Man, he's always sleeping. Like, wake up, you happy little camper.
Man, what's going on with you, baby?
It's good, man. My neck is kind of hurting, bro. I couldn't find a remote last night.
Oh, really? Huh.
Well, have you ever tried cherry blossom pillows?
Have you ever lost your remote on the couch?
Do you ever just need a spot to put your book in?
Do you ever just need a place to rest your head?
So if you need a pillow with a special pocket, Cherry Blossom Design has the right thing for you. Head on down to their Etsy store and use code BRIDGETHEGAP to get $5 off an order of 2 or more.
Hey, you guys, you ever heard of Anchor? It's the easiest way to make a podcast.
No, I haven't. Is it free?
Yes, it is.
But are there creation tools that allow you to edit it on your phone or computer?
Yeah, there are.
But is there a way that we can spread this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast?
Yeah, it does it for you. It allows you to make money with minimum listenership.
So if you haven't already, go to the Anchor app or anchor.fm to get started.
What they said. Everybody, welcome to yet another edition of Bridging the Gap with Bill Shy, Not So Scooby, Shady Scooby, I forgot the name already, and Chef Matt, and our very special guest, none other than the music artist, Rock L, representing out of the 252, North Carolina, and we're going to get to know him just a little bit better, but as you guys know, we're going to do our little roundabouts.
So make sure y'all go tap into all the social medias. I'm at Scooby the Kid 252. We got at Chef Nat 1523. We got at Oh So Shy. We got at Bill_Perry. And we got at Rock L Spivey, or is it Rock Vermont now?
At Rock Knows All.
At Rock Knows All.
Oh,
I'm gonna hit him over the head this time.
been a while. Okay, so like we normally do, how are we doing? I'm gonna say it again. I know for us it has been a while, but how are we doing this? How do you think we'll be doing when this is gonna be out too?
All right, we'll come around like this right here.
Okay, I'm doing great. Hopefully I'll have my posters ready and my website up and going and be able to have a few sales, and we'll see how that
That's
goes.
Oh So Shy.
That's Oh So
The new
Shy.
brand.
Yeah, the new brand, absolutely.
Indeed.
And slowly working on the album. We've been rehearsing more, but we're taking our time with that because of the pandemic, and we have a lot of time to just really work on these new sounds and songs, and so good.
Indeed. I'm like my sis, I've been working on some new things and been enjoying myself working with them and everything and putting this podcast together. And been enjoying actually getting ready to develop some stuff for Scoob and everything. He's got some stuff coming up and just got through doing a TV stint. So I'm actually feeling good because I'm feeling good for my homie. Now, he's about to do a lot of big things and everything because we're all been involved in a lot of stuff. So I've been feeling good.
Well, I've been doing real good.
Speak up just a little bit.
All right, I've been doing real good. I came down here working on my album, working on some stuff for school. So I'm in really, really good spirits right now. You know what I mean? So.
Word.
Gotcha. I'm doing great. I'll probably have wrote to some of the beats. This man is like a beat making fucking
Yes, he
machine.
is. Yes, he is.
and they
Rock, I know what he's doing.
Like, no cap. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's blessed to be in the studio with Rock, you know what I'm saying? For sure. Me and Bill locking in, Zombie Studio still doing the things, new video every Saturday. I forgot to say that on Brink the other day. It was a little sad, you know what I'm saying? But I was on Brink. We was on TV, you know what I'm saying? Really big things happening,
Right.
Patience, hard work, pays off.
Word.
I'm doing good. Like he said, I recorded. It was his thing, but I was on TV. I've been on TV for my second time.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is your second time on
Second
TV.
time.
Look at this guy. Been on TV twice before he's even 21.
This time I went up there debuting a character that is going to come to fruition more and more throughout this storyline we're telling. His name's Azariel. I gotta get it right. And I've just finished writing a script for a short film that is going to play into this universe that we're creating, but it's also going to redeem a mistake I made in 11th grade.
But there it is. And also to add some extra things to what Hunter was saying, about his TV stints, we're going to be back up there at Brink TV, but we're going to be going up there for Zombie Studios. And so Chef Mac will be the emphasis that time, so y'all, stay tuned for that. All right, so does that wrap up our wellness?
That's good for the wellness.
All right, so now we're gonna get into the main attraction, Raquel. Indeed, I mean, get to know this man. I actually got to know Raquel via a phone conversation. Him and Scooby and I. Scooby had him and always talk all the time, and so one night we got to talking and stuff real late. We talked to like 6 in the morning. That's how this man vibes, man. It was good energy. So there it is, man. There it is. I don't even know how to start off, Raquel, because I didn't got to know the guy. It's always funny to have to interview your friends, as it were.
But take it so many different ways.
Right. You know what I mean?
I would say we need to start. You know what I'm saying? Where
I would say how y'all met.
But before that though,
yeah, because this is Scooby's old school buddy.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where we from. We grew as hip hop artists. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of heard what my experience in the 2000 was. What's yours? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. For me, I was doing sports.
Yes.
Sports was my thing. Football, basketball, baseball, track. I mean, you name it. I was all over. You know what I mean. So I met a whole lot of people that way and doing music at the same time. Because I started off with music. I think I was 12.
Word.
Yeah, I was 12 when I started off with music. So I'm doing music and sports at the same time. Right there in Greenville. So, I'm meeting a whole lot of people that's doing it in the city. And then once I started doing shows, started meeting even more people, rappers, producers, bands, blah, 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 blah. So it's like a whole lot of people that I know. And now, you know what I mean, when you started, now you bringing up some of these same names to me. It's like, I know them from way back.
It's crazy,
so.
Well, when y'all was coming up and everything, who were the rappers that made the impression on you to make you go like, man, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy because it's somebody he called Big Homie, but I call him Big Homie. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Dude named Quan.
Oh yeah, I heard Scooby talking about Quan.
So,
Quan, and what's your third guy's name?
Jamrock.
That's his Mount Rushmore of hip hop. And may as well go Tupac on there, of course, and Mac Miller. But that's it. Y'all are on his Mount Rushmore, indeed.
For me, like when I was rapping, and this is like around when I had first started rapping. My brother and Quan were in the same grade.
Okay.
So I think they were in high school at some point, and I was like in middle school.
Right.
My brother came home with one of Quan's CDs, and he was like, "Yeah, this is what you need to be. This is what you need to be on." So I listened to it, and like Quan just changed my whole perspective of rapping.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And just the fact that he had that kind of same effect on school. And mind you, at the time that I had got this CD, and we didn't know each other.
Word.
You know what I mean? So I had no idea that in the future Quan would, have that kind of influence on him too. So it's crazy for me, but.
Word.
I met Quan working in a pizza shop. You know what I'm saying? But I was when I started rapping, I was cocky with it because it was like I was the best around everybody else.
Y'all gotta let our audience know. You gotta put perspective on who this Quan person is, man.
Yeah. So his QUAN. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about literally, in my opinion, the best rapper to ever rap on the microphone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's disgusting. He's like makes great songs, and he's just the coolest dude.
And it's effortless. It's effortless.
Bro, he the type. It's just like effortless is the best way to put it. It's just,
now, Quan, remember, if we ever meet, I got them to say this beautiful stuff about you, bro. All right.
But this is you hear that, you know what I'm saying, and so super talented and how I met him. I mean, I come up to the sink, you over there washing dishes. We worked at Michelangelo's Pizza, you know what I'm saying, in the Ville. And then I start busting off, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm rapping, you know?
Right.
And he was like, that was dope, man, that was dope. He's so, the coolest guy, nicest guy I ever meet. And he started going, but he's still washing dishes over there.
Yeah.
It's going. And I'm like, bro, how you even think I was dope, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't play me, bro. I got he was just like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Keep working at a kid. And he kept calling me kid.
Yeah.
And then Scooby the Kid.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like, he started
so he
it.
made a big impression on you.
Yeah, bro.
Both of you, apparently.
Oh my God.
Now, as far as music production, when you were starting to create music around your raps, where was that influence coming from?
I can honestly say that did not come from Greenville. Like that didn't come from anything that was around me. Cause honestly, I started because I ain't had no beats.
Same here. No, same here, man. I get
You
it.
know?
I didn't have no sampling machines and stuff like this and stuff,
Right.
so I get it. I get it. I
Right.
created my own stuff.
So
Now, as far as when you would write a song, like you write a rap, did you hear that beat in your head, or would you kind of like consider developing it after the fact?
I didn't get to the point where I could take what I had in my head and put it down. I didn't get to that point until much later on. When I first started out,
I understand
I'm
that
just
too.
playing with stuff, you know what I mean,
Yes.
trying to put some cool stuff together. I mean, honestly,
I'm saying thing.
despite what my stuff sounds like right now, when I started off,
Hey, look, y'all. This may not make sense to y'all right now, but a moment ago, Raquel was in the audience for another show that we just did here earlier, and you just heard what I said about my homeboy and the Disney thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I made a track that I thought was all hardcore. My boy's like, it belongs in a Disney movie. That just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you never know what it's gonna sound like to other people.
I
Right?
mean, that happens no matter what level you're at. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right,
That happens
right.
no matter what level you're at. So,
Right.
I mean,
But that keeps you humble.
I got a question for you. Like when you make a beat, in your mind, do you see like the video that could go to that?
yeah.
Because me and him just shot music videos to a couple of the beats that you made that he had put songs to, and I was just wondering if you had like, I want to show you because I want to see if like what I did is kind of what you pictured.
Well, number one, I can't wait to see. But two, yeah, it's different. It's different, but a lot of times I can kind of see what it'll look like. I remember telling you, like I'm not a visual person, but when it comes to producing, especially when it comes to things like sync licenses and getting placements in TV and stuff like that, you kind of gotta approach it with like, okay, I'm making this for this certain scene.
Right,
So sometimes I will, be able to visualize, what does this sound look like?
See, if I would have had that kind of foresight, maybe I could have put my song in Disney. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it wouldn't have hurt my feelings so much. But Shai, hey, why don't you get up
Oh,
here and get
no,
some
like-
female perspective on this?
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that. I'm just listening to everything right now and getting a feel. And so you produce for other artists. And how many albums have you produced or?
Have I been a part of?
Yeah.
Way too many for me to count.
Really? So yeah, I guess you've met a lot of
people. Like I said, I started making music. I think I started producing at 14. So I started making music at 12. Started producing at 14.
But it wasn't all for rappers, right? I guess you've done some
Right. Not all for rappers. Like a lot of times, because I actually started with like with band, orchestra, and stuff like that. So you know what I mean.
What am I talking about? We've had this
Yeah,
conversation.
you know. So that would.
Oh my God.
Do you play an instrument?
I am not great at any instrument. I'm just really good at putting things together.
Arranger.
Right.
Arranger,
I think that's my strongest skill when it comes to production. Now, if you ask me, like, can I hop on a piano and figure out something that sounds cool? Yeah, I can figure out something that sounds cool. Can I hop on a trumpet and figure out something that sounds cool? Yeah, I can do that. But I can't sit here and like, give you like a whole Miles Davis.
Right. No, I feel you.
But
To even do that, that's pretty impressive. I couldn't even begin to play any notes. So
Well, arranging,
my brother played trumpet.
okay.
So I would mess around with his trumpet sometimes, you know what I mean? And like, I actually know how to, make the notes come out, you know what I mean?
Right.
The sound come out.
Right. You got your embouchure right and all that kind of
Right,
stuff.
all that.
Well, it's like that ended up being a real strength of Quincy Jones, for example. If I remember his story right, he had like a brain aneurysm or something like this, and it altered the way he could play his trumpet because he started off as a jazz trumpeter and stuff, but then he became this monolithic composer that we all know and is arranged for movies and various things. And that's his strong suit. He's more known for that than his trumpet playing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it takes all types, as it were. And so I guess you're walking along the lines of a hip hop Quincy Jones, baby.
Honestly, at the end of it, when it's all said and done, that's where I want to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's where I want to be. And,
Yeah, he is like the bar.
So I look at it. So I look at guys like him. I look at guys like a Rick Rubin. I look at
Yes.
I look at these guys and I'm seeing what they're doing, and honestly, they're putting the pieces together.
That's actually a good question if you don't mind me interjecting.
So-
Who are, on all the different levels that you understand and what you respect about music production, who are your favorite music producers? Not rappers, but music producers. You know, you got your, well, I'm old school, so I'm going to kind of reveal my age, but like, I'm going to say Timbaland, but I know he's old school. But like, you know, some of the guys that are hitting now,
What
and
about
even
the
old school
that
guys.
married Janet Jackson?
Oh, Sean, you got me.
who's- You know, Crisscross. He put out.
Oh, Jermaine Dupri. I don't think they didn't get married. I don't think though, Sean. I think they just dated for a hot minute.
okay.
But no, again, he's like more of a
He was-
throwback. You know, Scott Storch and it. But now, actually, I can't think of anybody. You know, but iterate. I was gonna try to think of some modern names, but just in general.
Well,
you see
we went
it.
back,
I know I'm old.
Honestly, my guys aren't modern. It's not modern.
Oh, but talk my language. Let me hear it. I will understand this then. Like Jay Dilla, because I understand that.
I guess if you would put Pharrell as
Well, okay, now
modern guy, but
he's kind of a cusp because you know guys your age and my age respect him like kind of thing.
For
Like
Pharrell, for all purposes, you know what I mean.
nerds.
That is my that's my guy in terms of like just seeing sounds and just.
Okay, what about
how I
other
approach-
things like say outside of the parameters of hip hop, like you know the productions for stuff like Gorillaz?
Mhm. Now,
Because that's kind of a whole another thing, but
For-
you know
for-
they're a vibe. They're a
That's
vibe.
really
You know what I mean?
yeah, for a lot of that stuff, I don't really know particular names, stuff like that.
Oh, me
So-
neither,
so-
man.
so-
I mean, you notice that's the
sorry
only
to
name I
you
could
all.
drop as far as whatever
Yeah,
that's considered
but-
to be. Like, I don't know nothing about all that.
But whenever I find that song, you know what I mean. You know that song.
Yes, yes. I know.
Whenever I find something, it just comes a part of what I got going on. You know what I mean? Because me as a producer, I go in and I dissect what did they do?
Yes.
How did they achieve this sound? And then I mess with it a little bit, and then I end up learning some skills that I bring into everything else I do. I did
That's
that.
right,
I did that with Pharrell. Did that with Timbaland. Did that with Dilla. Did that with
Right, that's
Kumo,
right, baby.
did that, you know what I mean?
That's right.
And what about the artists that you're working with? Do you kind of tailor towards their sound and what they're doing?
Depends, because I like to push people to do different things.
Interesting.
Because I like when I hear my favorite artists hop on different kinds of things. You know what I mean? So I want to hear what a Scooby would sound like on a Pharrell kind of beat.
As
You know what I
opposed
mean?
to trying to make him fit to it.
Right.
Like, no, what would he just sound like to it?
Right, instead of making him, do the same thing over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Like, let's push the limits. Let's test it, see what we can
That's
do.
something that me and Scoob have talked about in terms of lyrical prowess, as it were. Like, cause Scoob is a rapper, but Scoob has told me, man, like he's just as influenced by Tupac as he is Bob Dylan. You know what I mean? And stuff of that nature where and I noticed that with you guys, the modern ilk of hip hop, you guys are not only just looking at hip hop artists. You guys are borrowing from the singers and from this and that and so on.
Real quick, I heard something recently. Guy said, you cannot write genre. Think about that. You can't write genre.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when it comes to like what I take, what's the word I'm looking for? Inspiration from.
Yeah.
It's genreless. You know what
I
I mean?
never classify my music. I let others do it.
Yeah. Genre is just for what? Marketing purposes.
And I always find it interesting amongst musicians when we're all talking amongst each other, no matter what ilk of musicianship. We don't ever box ourselves in conversation.
Right.
We're all engaging each other about what we're all doing with one another. I've had conversations with a punk rock artist. And in the same conversation, there's a guy that's all into classical and into jazz and hip hop, and we're all mingling. But then you may read some sort of snippet about musical whatnots, and that's where we're categorized.
Yeah.
Oh well, Bill and the jazz and the this and the hip hop and the da da da. That's where we all get boxed in.
It's when it becomes public.
Miles Davis was vehemently against genres. He didn't like saying the word jazz. He called it black music. He just said black music. Oh yeah, if you said the word jazz to Miles, he probably would have punched you out. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, Miles, I used the word jazz. Oh God.
There's something you did,
Yeah, but it's like
is you kind of took that, embraced it, and created these different characters that do these different genres of music. Like Bill Perry is not the same as Mr. BM,
Oh,
even
no.
though they
Oh,
don't
no.
even exist in the same plane. But and then you got Little B, who is a rapper like Mr. BM, but it's a completely different part.
Right,
of that
right.
genre.
More youthful aspect of what I was. Well, Scoob has been telling me over and over to try to figure out a way to box all that together so I can come out with my ultimate album. But anyway, this ain't about me. We gotta bring it back to Raquel. Raquel, so as far as anything current, what are we looking at right now? As far as what you're working on or developing, if you want to give any, I know artists are particular about letting it be known, but teasers or whatever, yeah.
I'm usually a very, very, very strategic person. I actually haven't dropped nothing in a long time, but I can't.
God, I want to say something so bad, but he's talking and I don't want to because I've been witnessing certain. I ain't gonna say that.
But I came down here, not only to do the podcast, but also to work on my album, A Life to Die For. That's it. That's like
that's what I'm sitting here like. I know he's developing something, but I want to see how much he gonna say. You know what I'm saying?
There is something I want to say about that. You were the first guest that has come to Oxford to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Every other guest
right. No doubt. Yeah, because all of our guests have been in other areas. Yeah, man, this man opening doors.
Kicking down boundaries.
That's
all
right,
that.
Man, good point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, sure enough.
I wanted to mention something about Miles Davis and Tupac. How Bill would always tell me they had the same energy, and I didn't realize until I watched that Miles Davis movie. You know what I'm saying? And in that last interview, Thug Shells was talking about something about inspiration, and Hunter had read these books about Still Like an Artist.
If you haven't read them books, they're like $10 off Amazon. They're by this guy Austin Kleon, and they're
Wait,
short.
say that again?
Austin Kleon.
Oh,
Kleon.
I thought you said Klingon. I was about to go, bro. This somebody that's a Klingon, but
they're $10 a book, and they're relatively short, and they're goofy and comical, but they're like how to stay creative, be creative. And one of them is Still Like an Artist, Show Your Work and Keep Going, and I'm on Keep Going, but they're all just like how to get something, how to show something, and then how to move on from that something. And
and as a rapper, or just being a rapper entails being a writer, as it were. It's more than just freestyle. For those that just think that that's all it is, it's not all that. But so anyway, with that said, when you get into a writer's block mode, how do you find your way out of that? Do you let it just go a natural course, or do you try to create activities for yourself to try to force yourself back into a creative place?
I have a lot of different methods, but the one that I find works for me best, I call it like cleaning out the closet. Just keep writing, because a lot of times, when you get writer's block, you're either lying.
No. Yes, I like this. I like
you
this.
Feel me?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You're either lying or your thoughts aren't coming in an organized, structured way.
Right.
So sometimes you just gotta clean
It's
out the closet,
incoherent.
get it all out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Get it all out, and then that way you can, you got it written down so you can pull it to the,
So you're saying it's best to flush it all out, even if the
best to
ideas are
flush it out.
bullshit.
Even if they're the worst ideas you've ever come up with in your life, it's important to get them out, clear your system.
Especially if you're searching for something.
Right, especially if you're searching for something. But that way it can come in a nice,
I like that, Raquel. I like that a lot.
Instead of being cluttered, you know what I mean? But then the other one,
you actually make sense, because that was something we were speaking on earlier, where I had lightly joked about having a lot of projects that I like to see develop, they're kind of shelved. And but from what you're saying here, it's just like, but try your best to just develop them to the best of your ability. To just get it out of your system. If it's not an idea that you feel is worth developing, then you'll know. As opposed to it just sitting there and then you keep going back to it. It's just like something maybe you really don't want to develop. It's just best to just clear it out of your system to see, oh, I do want to develop that. No, I don't want to develop that.
Because then sometimes something you think can be, you can stretch it out for 10 topics and, turn it into an album. It might just be something that,
it's singular.
Right, you put it into one, put all of that into one song. It might not can cover an entire album.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know that unless you get it all out. You know what I mean?
And see, I always look at an album as a complete thought. I look at a song as a fragment of a thought, or a potential fragment of a thought. In terms of if you're considering it a part of a collection, because we have songs that are just that song. Like when you made Rockstar, it wasn't an album concept. It was Rockstar the song. And we've all made those kind of songs and stuff where it's just about that song. But also sometimes when I'm in album mode, as it were, every time I write a song, I consider the overall theme, and if it would be relative to it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that, as far as my own personal process, and if I feel like it's not a part of my current stream of consciousness, those are the ideas that get shelved.
So like,
You know what I'm saying?
something that these books have taught me is called keep a swipe file. Like, if you see something you like, write it down and put it in a file. But I kind of took it to another level. If I think of an idea, I write it down, put it in this file. And like I said earlier, I was writing a script and I got to a spot and I was just like stuck. What in the hell am I going to finish this, you know? And I go to that file, I pick up, you know, I tear the pages, so they're just small little pages. I pick something out and I take that topic idea and I'm like, well, there it is. That's what I'm writing about. Or like I do it for his music videos too. I pick something out and like I have music videos that I like and I'm like, well, I want to do something like this. So I look at this music video and I'm like, okay, I'll watch it. And I'm like, that's how I'm going to do this, or that's how I'm going to do that. And that's one of the ways like I know how to stay creative and keep going all through.
Well, I'll tell you something, Raquel, from what you said, this young lady over here writes so many damn songs. I guess that's a part of your process, Shy. I'm serious. Shy like writes albums and just throws an album away and we still have an album worth of material left. It's just like, God damn. So are you in agreement with that sentiment?
Oh, what you were saying is funny because I was thinking about that on a music level. I do that too with different notes. I'm always having scrap notes. But on my phone, it's just countless different melodies. And sometimes I can feel things through. I'm like, okay, yeah, but sometimes I sound like a lunatic. And I'm like, if anybody heard this, they would probably wonder what.
But you're flushing it out. Like my
yeah,
dad was just saying, you're
exactly.
flushing
It's
it
like
out.
I hear it and I'm like, well, whether at that moment I'm feeling it, so I need to just go ahead and put it down, whether or not I use it or not.
In our family, man, we call Shy the Song Factory. Shy just puts out all these
Cranks
songs.
them out.
Man, just pumps them out. Now, are you like that? Are you one that has a lot of ideas that you feel like you have to flush out
Yep.
so you can weed out?
Yep.
You know, be like, okay, I got 30 ideas, but I only need 15.
Because
you know?
for me, I'm working on one album right now, but I've got like 5, 6 plans,
Yeah.
and like I'm talking like all conceptual albums. You know, we're not even talking about just the the random stuff I might hop on and just make something cool.
Right.
You know, I could put out like.
But you have them as a realized thought.
Right.
Each thing is realized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So oftentimes I'll find myself working on something for one album, and then I'll be like, but it fits so good over here, So I'll just put that to the side.
Now, something I've been learning being in your company, Raquel, is you know something about how to market online.
Oh yeah.
Now, that's something that I'm slowly been learning through like Scooby and Hunter and stuff like that, the younger cats and stuff, and trying to figure out how to broaden my fan base. I guess that's the ultimate goal at the end of the day, is to try to bring traction. And I've been noticing in our conversations, like you've got kind of a handle on how to do these kind of things.
Yeah.
Do you have a mission in mind, as it were, with this album? You know what I'm saying? For the whole social video blast,
Yeah. That's part of what making an album is to me, because you can't forget that part. You can't forget that aspect.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the goal for all of us is to have our music heard, right?
That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line.
The digital age that we're in, I mean, especially when it comes to marketing, the power is in our hands.
It's more than ever.
We could go sign a deal and sign away the rights to our music and have somebody go market it for us, but it's something that we can do ourselves.
And in a lot of cases, as we've heard from certain horror stories, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Musicians will sit locked in contracts and the company's not promoting them.
Right.
And they have opportunities to do other things and they can't because they're locked into a
I
contract.
think one of the best examples is Prince, and he felt very
Warner
smart.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Got that man shaving slave on the side of his face. He literally shaved the word slave on the side of his face.
And
It
he
became a
didn't-
symbol,
He didn't release a lot of music because of that. It's like all of these gems that are
And
unheard.
if I'm not mistaken, and if I'm wrong, so you correct me in the comments or whatever, but I think after his death, Warner Brothers finally was able, succeeded some of his stuff to his family.
That's great.
Now, if I'm wrong, because that's a hell of a thing to say, but I think I remember reading that in passing somewhere, because I'm like, we're going to wait till after the man died and then finally be like, oh, you can have your music back.
It's fun.
Come on.
Yep.
But if they did do that, it's good for the family. Because see, at the end of the day, beyond ourselves, like with copyrights, you know what I'm saying? You want your seeds, as it were, to be able to have the rights to it too. Like, I create some music now. I want my future seeds to be able to still profit from it in the future and so on and so
Well,
forth.
in his case, his family, his sisters and brothers, and
Because Chris didn't have any kids, right?
Yeah, but there was still family.
Yeah, there was still family out there, and then their kids and so on and so forth,
Yeah.
But I
A lot of people find themselves in this position though because they don't learn about marketing, and they don't learn about publishing, and they don't learn about all these things that they can do for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So,
and me personally, I'll admit to a lot of my ignorance. I know about copyright and publishing as kind of throwbacks and stuff that's been a part of the business.
Mm-hmm.
But with the advent of the internet, I have not really completely grasped how to create traction. Like, I will always, in Scooby and Hunter can attest, I'm always surprised by my posts that will get traction. I'll put up something that I consider to be mundane, 200-300 likes, and then the thing I'm trying to get advertised 5-10 likes, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And Scooby tried to explain to me, B, what you're doing here is da 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 da. And there's all these different parameters, time of the day. Like, Scoob told me something about, like on Instagram, for example, the more words you have on something, the less traction you get. And how about he was right? Because I literally was looking through my stuff, and the things that I had more, words on it had less traction than, say, a picture that had no words, and then I would have like 30, 40, 50 likes. And I'm like, oh, Scoob, you know what I'm saying? Like,
a lot of this stuff is like once you get a handle on kind of how the algorithms work.
That's the key word, algorithms.
It works better in your favor, and you can use the analytics side of things to kind of
Hunter's always talking about analytics.
to kind of plan your posts and plan the content of your posts along with things like time of day.
Well, brother, let me pick your head. What is a good time of the day to do it? Because see, for me, I've always felt like between noon to 5.
It depends on who's following you.
You want to release it from everything I learned. Well, there's a reason we release it at 9 every Wednesday.
In the morning.
Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week. 9 o'clock is a lot of time before most people go to work.
Word.
So now they've got this thing, middle of the week, something at 9 o'clock that they can listen to on their work day.
Word.
So that's why we release at 9 every
Hunter,
Wednesday.
I don't think you've ever broke it down that way, but now it makes sense to that degree. Yeah, no doubt.
Like with anything that I do as far as marketing and stuff like that, I think about the consumer first. You know what I'm saying? So
Because we're consumers too.
Right, exactly. So put yourself in those shoes. You know what I mean? Like, when are the times that you're going to be on your phone on Instagram or something like that? You know what I mean? So relate that to the people that are following you and what their lives are like. If they work a 9 to 5, well, they're probably not going to be on their phones too much during the 9 to 5. I mean, maybe lunch. So lunchtime is a really good time,
And me and you talked about like the vicarious component too, where like if you're connected with other people, like I told you, I discovered a music artist via someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was watching this art thing and stuff online, and the instrumental that was playing in the background while the person was drawing, he had tagged or at the person. And then via that, I discovered this person and stuff, and I became a big fan of this person.
Right.
But it wasn't through the traditional channels.
Mm-hmm.
I just happened to be scrolling on my Instagram, listened to the little background music, became a fan, staunch fan, not just, I'm really a big fan of this individual, and I didn't discover them through the traditional channels of commercialism.
It just shows you how much power our own individual platforms have.
This is a question, I don't know if you really looked into it much, but after Breezy played your songs, dancing to your songs, how many more views did you get on those?
Oh, I got a lot more. I got a pretty girl dancing to my music, so everybody, oh, he must got cool music. Let me see what he's about. So yeah, you're right, Hunter. I did get more traction after that. You're right.
So
Thank you, Breezy, by the way.
This is kind of a off-topic question, and it's kind of for everybody. I kind of know for y'all too, but for you and Shy, like when y'all are making something, like I often, like now that I'm getting into directing, will watch Steven Spielberg and Stanley Kubrick and like watch interviews on them. And I've watched The Shining multiple times to get
one of my faves.
To get Shook, which is a video I did for him.
Yes.
Some of the kind
beautiful
of
job on it, by the way.
Eerie stuff to do. Y'all listen to musicians that influence you a lot, like whenever you're trying to make something new.
Ladies first.
Oh, well, whenever I try to make something new these days, I have a pretty good idea, but of what I want. but I'm always open to listening to new songs and new styles and genres, and not just that, but really listening to how the person is phrasing their words and how they're putting everything together, whether they're singing with
Cadence.
the beat, yeah, singing behind the beat, all of that can make a huge difference in the song. It can be very influential. One of somebody that I never would have thought, I used to avoid their music, but they were suggested to me, and I'm a huge fan now, is actually Frank Sinatra. So I'm very heavily influenced by somebody like him, and then you turn around and then you have, first person that pops up is Rihanna. So, you know, it's the difference. It's like, you know,
go from start spreading the news to Rihanna, like,
and he's just beautiful and so cool, and everything about him, and the power in his voice. And
you know who was a big fan of his that I found out that made me kind of, you know, because I'm such a big fan of this person, Miles.
Really?
Miles was a big fan of Frank Sinatra and his phrasing and the way he sung. And I mean, you know, the guy had a great voice. We all know that, you know. And but you know, for me, like that kind of phrasing, like when we was coming up, that was known as the lounge singer phrase.
Yeah.
It was, you know, it kind of became bastardized. So that that kind of singing, you know, was kind of cliche, big bandish and stuff. But like you say, but if you just take the time out to really listen, like, you know, get beyond the cliche and listen.
And listen to the melody and the movement of the songs.
Go beyond the genre. Yeah, go beyond the genre. And in this case,
so
like,
yes, I can be influenced.
Yeah, oh, sorry. Yeah, you were still answering this question. We jumped into
I
stuff.
took the long way.
Anyway, and actually, it's your turn to answer it now.
Short answer, yes. Short answer, yes. Longer answer. A lot of times I approach things in different ways. Like sometimes I could be listening to somebody's whole album, right? I could listen to a whole album, like one of my favorite albums of all time, Kanye, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Very nice.
It's one of my favorite albums of all
Very
time.
nice.
I can listen to that from beginning to end, and it'll spark an idea, and it's a different idea every single time I listen to it. I because my ears will just latch on to something that I like, and then it'll just take me on a whole spiraling journey. Other times, there won't be any outside influence. It'll just all be stuff that's going on in my head, and I'm on the computer, and it's a race against time to try and get these ideas out as I'm making a beat, you know. So, short answer again.
That's what I love about the creative process is like, which I believe I've sent the group chat this, but like I was listening to Hamilton, which I've mentioned so many times, but it's really good. And there's this one song called "The Room Where It Happens," and it has nothing to do with what I did, but all of a sudden I'm like, I've got the Bridging the Gap logo. I ran over to my notebook, drew a rough draft, and sent it to y'all. But like that came out of nowhere. But that song was just like it's an inspiring song because at the end the guy's like, well, I want to be in the room where it happens, and I'm gonna be. And like that, just listening to that, I'm like, you know what, he's right. And then all of a sudden, there's that idea.
A lot of times, what it is it's like you can be watching something, and it's like one idea will spark another idea, will spark another, and then before you know it, you're at the logo.
Right.
Your thought process has gone like to. It's like a whole.
You literally was talking about that the other day in Memphis.
Yeah.
Right? You see, you look at all these different things before you isolate it to the one thing. He literally just said just
like
that.
There's a video that I've been sitting on for a while that enthralls the creative process between me, you, and Teddy. That explains what we're doing, but some of the ideas we talked about haven't quite come to fruition yet.
Right.
So I don't want to put the video out, but it like. You see the conversation, you see what we're creating happening in real time, coming up in our head, and it's one of them crazy things.
You know what you guys are just saying, as Raquel was just saying, how how certain things inspire other things, and we all can attest to this. Like, for me personally, like when it comes to songs, you're listening to a song, you can almost kind of create your own little video in your mind. You're riding along and whatever little imagery is going on.
I don't know how many videos I've had.
I mean, millions of videos. We've all created them in our mind as we're riding along and jamming out, and you create these little images in your brain. But the beauty of that is how that story changes. every time, I guess that's probably, well, honestly, it's for all of us, that listens to music. Every time I listen to something, whatever I imagined before, obviously it's not going to be the same thing again.
Right.
And even the mood. I can listen to what is considered a sad song, but get a beautiful idea or be inspired to do something completely the antithesis of that, the opposite of that. Like a sad song inspires me to write a song that's uplifting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth, and vice versa even.
Well, like he can attest to this, that very exactly what you're saying. Every time we listen, a new idea comes. Me and him would talk about a music video idea day of shooting the shot. When we get to the final shot, which I've learned is called the margarita shot, which I think is
I did not know that.
Ah,
Movie terms,
Just
ladies and
learn
gentlemen.
something new.
Learn something new.
Margarita shot.
I'll sit there and I'm like, it's the last. I'm like, this is the final shot. We'll finish it, and I will listen to the song one more time. I'm like, no, it's not. I got another thing I want to do.
Yeah. Well, in the triple X world, it's known as the money shot, but that's a whole other story. Did I make you blush? Did I make y'all blush out there?
Mr. P.
Hey, I'm the wild one here, baby. The cowboy. All right, so where we at?
We got about 10 minutes before.
Okay, let's keep talking to Rock then. Let's Scooby, hell, you know Rock, man. Talk to him.
I said a lot of my bars, speaking to what y'all was just saying, like let the river run. You know what I'm saying? And just in the creative process, it's just like everything. Like we were just saying the other day, like we got 9 ideas. You know what I'm saying? You don't even feel like that happens. You know what I'm saying? But it just happens when you just kind of like, you take inspiration from everything. Like you be at the weirdest stuff. Like you at the little McDonald's getting you a burger and you see how somebody interacting and you like,
And then you get that.
yeah, and it's like, damn, bro, there's people out here that just like, number one, it's cool like as like an artist to be like, they really don't give a fuck about me right now. And that's cool though.
Yeah.
Like I like that. Like you do your job. I've been there, I've done that. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
And so like taking inspiration from that, and I see you do that in your writing process. We watching that K-Dot thing, and like I seen like I seen the connection you made. You was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm working on the album. Let me like, and then you made a song in that way, and I was like, okay, that's crazy. And just seeing some of the things we had talked about pop up in the bars too. I was like, damn, I'm not the only one that does that.
Right.
I haven't seen too many people write songs because a lot of people, rappers, they won't write it in front of you or like I'm the type of, like, you notice with me, if I'm writing a song, I'm saying it over and over and over and over again, like, out loud, how I'm going to say it when I get onto the microphone.
People witness your process.
Yeah.
And like something, I don't want to cut you off, but something I saw you do yesterday was you would rap into the microphone and then listen to it back.
Yeah, so
Before your
like
song
you
even
would
started.
Yeah, I saw that process too. Yeah.
So like you would just say it out loud over and over again. I gotta listen to it over and over and over again. So
Yeah, because I thought I was we was talking, and Raquel kept running to the mic and would do something, and I thought he was literally dropping something. He's like, no, man, this is part of my process, man. Like, I'm just working out the line, and I thought that was cool.
You got that notebook over there, which that you used to do, but you write on your phone now. But like you write everything in the notebook.
Pen and pad.
No, that's me too, dude.
I've started to do that because
no doubt.
in that book that we were talking about earlier, it says you got to have one thing in your life that is not technology. Like my script, I wrote out all on paper first.
For
and
me,
then I typed
it just feels
like
better.
that.
You know what I mean? Like it feels
It feels
better.
organic.
Like I can feel what I'm writing. You know what I mean? Versus
and you get a see.
Yes,
like,
Rocket. Man, this man right
like
here.
there
Come
is
on.
something about it, like when you write something down, you get to see like that looks like it sounds weird, but you don't really see that on the phone.
But yes.
yeah.
Oh,
That's kind of what it is for me. Because I started out like when I first started making music. I started out pen and pad, and then I'll say for about maybe a year, like I started putting everything in my phone. It didn't work for me. So I went back to pen and pad, and I've been on it ever since.
I think I've only written 2 or 3 songs on my phone, actually.
Like I'll jot ideas down.
Yeah,
It's nice to have to be able to like type something.
Have you
then
tried
get
to
home
written a
and
song
write
on the
it.
phone?
No, I have my lyric book. I'll have scraps over here, but as soon as I finish the song, the complete song goes in my lyric book. It's so beat up now. And I have to tape it, and I think I'm gonna glue it. Dad gave me some glue. I'm gonna tape it and glue it. I'm not getting another one.
You ain't getting another one.
Yeah, I got a lot of paper
That's
left.
the bad part about it.
Yeah, I feel you. It got character. It's got
It's
character.
got character.
When I was in high school, I started writing a novel. I got like halfway through the novel. And then I think it was raining one day. My notebook got caught out in
Oh
the rain.
no!
And I lost everything.
Oh,
I
no,
wrote,
that's
you know?
heartbreaking.
So at this point, like I will write my stuff in my notebook, and that's my creative process.
Then you can transfer it.
Then
to-
I can transfer it. Like I'm not going through that ever again.
That's hurtful. That's really hurtful.
It hurt so bad. Like I never tried to write another novel ever again after that. That was,
man.
It was good.
You'll get back. You'll get back, Raquel. It'll come back to Raquel. One day the muse will come back to him. And rain, do not rain it away, please. Oh, the rain, yeah. Poor Raquel. Poor Raquel.
I'm sorry. just
Raquel's
one more
novels,
thing.
rest in peace.
How do you spell your name?
ROCK space L.
Yeah, this is his rap name.
Okay, right.
I think maybe she thought your real name was Raquel.
Yeah, because I've heard, Raquel. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
different for a guy. I never heard that for a guy.
I mean, everybody just calls me Raquel, so.
Oh, you didn't think it was like Raquel? Like
No, I do. That's why I asked you how do you spell
Raquel Welch up in here, you know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, Raquel. Like Raquel.
Well, the L is for Lamont.
Yeah.
Okay.
The L is for Lamont, so it's Rock Lamont. It's just
I like
Raquel
that,
short.
Raquel.
You know.
Damn, now that I think about it, yeah, for those who've been listening for a while, it's not Raquel as in Raquel Welch.
They would have.
Please do not misinterpret that. Sean started something already.
Maybe.
It would have been spelled right in the title.
Maybe.
Hopefully, I don't know, because I've been seeing some mistakes in our title.
I never spelled the names wrong though.
No. Wait, Bon Appetit. You spelled Bon Appetit wrong.
I know I spelled Bon, but that's not a name.
It was
of a
Bon
person.
Appetite. It was Bon Appetite. I saw it. No, man, Hunter worked too hard. I ain't gonna get that,
That's
man.
character. That's character.
Paul Hunter be like, man, I do all this work and that's y'all gonna trust me. I say my shit.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I love doing it, but I'm the only one that touches the editing process and the uploading process.
Oh, Paul Hunter,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
No, we love Hunter. We love Matt. We love Matt, even though he be fucking up.
Hey, I feel your pain. When it comes to the music,
Yeah.
I'm just, that's me.
Yeah.
All right, I'm the guy that touches the editing on all this stuff. You know what I mean? So everybody in the studio like, hey, do this, and I'm like, yo, I'm one guy. Right, I'm one guy.
And I have 2 arms, 2 limbs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
See, like one of the big reasons why I love editing the podcast is because it gives me the excuse to kind of do something before I fuck it up in a music video. You know.
And let me say something. Now, Hunter does do this by himself. Me personally, I do know how to do film, but I actually like the idea of you just doing it on your own. Like I don't want to like try to come in and because you do it. You put together great shows for us.
The only reason I want, like, I'm gonna teach him how to do it is because if a situation like last week.
Oh, you're gonna teach school? Oh God, destroy Scooby, man. Oh Lord.
I'm gonna just
I'm gonna have to underestimate that one because Scooby could be complaining about computers. If we have to depend on the editing and the film, the visuals will be sideways. Screw what you do, man. I'm experimenting with this new little visual. It's like, man, let's get Mac. God damn. No, I'm just messing with Bob.
No, I just want it so that, like I said, the situation.
Yeah, I'm saying, man, you know what I'm saying? And then Sean gonna be like, man, I don't even feel comfortable on the show anymore, man. What y'all doing? You got breasts and all this stuff out here. Anyway, I don't know what the hell we talking about, y'all.
Raquel 2-5 shit, you know what I'm saying? That's the energy though.
Actually, we should be at about rapid fire, right?
5 minutes.
5 minutes for rapid fire.
We could, but I do gotta say, it's not rapid fire this time. I've got a new thing coming up.
What is this called?
I can't tell you.
Oh, I guess we will find out.
Can we, go around the table and ask each other, we kind of know what we all do, but what's our life to die for, you know what I'm saying?
You know what? That is great. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm gonna start with Hunter.
All right.
What's the life you would die for? Like what are you so passionate about? And mind you, I'm using this information for my album.
Oh, okay, so it's gonna be documented.
Okay, so that's an interesting question to ask me because I'm in the weird spot that I have 3 different things that I love to do that I could go either way. So I'm going to school to be a history teacher. I've always loved history, and I feel like I could influence a lot of high school kids to like actually care for school, which is something that isn't happening right now.
Yeah.
But as my name says, I am a chef as well. And that is something also that I can see the food and put it together in a way people are like, man, that's really good, you know. That's another thing. And then getting into the directing stuff, and like I enjoy doing it. I love the editing process, and like.
But someone puts a gun to your head right now. Which lifestyle will you die for, boy? Which one? Who you pledging to? Right now, I got a gun to your head. Who you pledging to?
It's
I
not.
don't know why did I put murder in this? I'm sorry.
It ain't even about choosing one though. It's about, you know.
I have those three possibilities. That
But see, in my limited brain, I'm like, no, if I'm gonna put a gun to your head and say, what
even
life
see
you
it as
rep? What life you
possibility,
rep, boy? Gangsta style.
Like, how can you do all of this all in one? You know what I mean? Like how?
That's my goal.
Right. You know what I mean? How can you take something that you're passionate about and turn it into your lifestyle? Because you know, these are the things that you love to do. These are the things that your life wouldn't be life without them.
Yeah, right.
That and I asked this question because this is what the album is about. It's what A Life to Die For is all about. It's about you know, everybody, because everybody has their own thing.
Yeah.
Right.
The answer to the question is different for for different people. So, Scooby, sure.
Shit, like, you know, I do the music, but it's like, it's always been deeper than the music. Like, A Life to Die For, you know, like, I wouldn't die over a 16, you know what I'm saying? But I die over a 16 if I said something that I meant in that motherfucker, and that's what I plan to do. I don't plan to die over it, I want to live.
Stand
But,
on.
yeah.
He died over 16
Stand on
bars.
some shit, yeah. I mean, at least give him a 32 bill, come on, man.
If you stand for nothing, what are you gonna fall for?
Yeah, that's real, you know? And
Malcolm X, baby.
That's real.
And you gotta, like, you know, to me, like that, like I'm ready to, like, you know, I've seen you working on it, I'm ready to hear it, because, like, you know, everybody has that, you know what I'm saying? Because most people, like, you know, we kind of had this conversation, like, their life to die for is working 8, 9 to 5, but they never wanted to work in the first place, and then maybe going and playing golf for 6 to 10 years before they, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you had to run it back, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna make the same plays, you gonna shoot that shot, or you gonna pass the ball off, or you know what you gonna do differently, you know? And, you know, I don't know. I don't want to look back on it like that. Like, everything I do is just like, yeah, I did that, but at least I wasn't scared to, though. That's just real. That's
what it's about, Bill. What
Man.
kind of life would you die for? What are you that passionate about?
You know, this is gonna kind of probably sound a little, broad, but as I was listening to you guys answer that, you know, I was really putting perspective on like what it is that I try to do with my art. The idea of entertaining and bringing joy and love and happiness to people. And I think at the root of what I do with my music, I think the life that I would die for is love. Like, you know, making sure that everyone, like if I was to take a bullet for something, it would be to preserve the idea of what love represents. And I feel like, you know, I am just one component as a musician, you know, expressing that form of love. But, you know, all forms of art and just things in general express love. So love is the life I would die for. Yeah, I think that's the way I would answer that, because I was really being careful in my thoughts when I was thinking, because I was going to initially say music, but it's just like, but why music? But why music? Right. And that's what's at the root of it. Yeah.
deep. I like that.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I guess it was weird for me being serious for a moment. Y'all been used to me joking all the time.
Oh, I would have to say the life I would die for is the life I have now. You know, I'm very thankful and grateful for the things that's going on. I'm so grateful and thankful for my family and the love I have with my family. I have my parents, I have friends, and you know, the music, everything is going exactly how I'm hoping, even better. And you know, it's just, I'm staking everything on it. I'm staking my whole future. I'm risking everything. And I've always been like that.
Right.
So it's like I risk everything. My whole being, everything I do is always for this. And so yeah, I would definitely die for my family, die for what I believe in with, you know.
You died tomorrow, there's no regrets.
I'm very happy with the life that I've led. I would,
You
know, nobody wants to die, and I have so many plans, but you know, it's like the things I've done, it's like, okay, okay, you know,
That's what's up,
I'm
Shaq.
pretty happy with it.
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
And like I said before, you know, I got your crazy self.
Indeed.
I really like your answer, and it's like, for anybody else's answer, I challenge them. What is it that's holding them back from their answer being, you know, what my life is right now? What's holding you back from that being your answer?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if you know what kind of life you should be living in order to be happy, genuinely happy, why are you not taking them steps to get to that? You know what I mean? You're blocking yourself at that point. You know the answer.
I agree with that.
I'm gonna say for me, I'm living.
Yeah.
I'm living the three things that I want to do in my life right now.
And
I
that's
think-
rare.
And it is rare because, you know, what I find as a funny thing when I'm talking to a lot of people is that, in a polite way, as it were, they are somewhat envious of the fact that I know what I want to do.
Mhm.
You know, because they have no clue and they're like, man, I really don't have an idea what I'm
And
gonna
you've
do.
known for years.
And I've known like a
Yeah.
big majority of my life. My thing is the how.
Yeah.
As I was discussing earlier, how do I create traction for, create a fan base, blah, blah, blah. But I know what I want to do.
And you stuck with it.
And I have been here, and if I died tomorrow, no regrets, baby.
That was
you know what I'm saying?
a humbling thing for me coming up when one of my closest friends, like, you know what I'm saying, he didn't know what he wanted to do. And it was like, I was like, but we're doing this rap thing. And I didn't even think to be like, well, what do you want to do?
What does he want to do?
You know what I'm saying? And like when he hit me with that, like even when he first said it, I was just doing it. You know what I'm saying? So
And you thought he was there with you.
yeah, and I was like, you just have no idea, that people out there don't know what they want to do. And that's
You know how many
crazy.
rap groups I was in? Ain't now one of them rappers right now. You know what I'm saying? And, well, I was about to say names, but I don't want to put nobody on
Yeah,
blast. But
and
you
they
know what
were-
I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and they were doing it because a lot of times people are influenced by what you're doing is when you're young, but you're really serious about it, and the truth shows.
and the
you
truth
know,
shows later
with
on.
time. Yeah.
I was making beats for everybody around, me. I was you and Teddy B and all them back in my day. I was making
Oh
beats
my
for
God! Okay,
everybody.
we used to live together, and another roommate, and just guys would come to the house. Next thing I know, boom, boom, boom.
Man, and
Because
they're
he's
I'm
beats.
making beats.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like they always came
Thank you for
by.
telling them this, Shy, because I've been trying to tell them they don't really know my
Well, we
past and
lived
stuff.
together, so it's
And
like I had to.
man, I was
I
making
witnessed
beats all
it.
the time, man,
And I'm
And,
like, who is this? And there was this guy that lived right down the hall,
well, in that particular case, yeah, but
He always came.
yeah, he always came, man. But I made beats for everybody, man. But that the way I approached that was a different mentality. But at the end of the day, it still was rooted in me bringing joy. I would be so happy when I would create something for someone and they liked it. As we all are. You create something for someone and they like it, you're happy, you're elated, So when
it's
I would
like,
create,
job well done.
yeah, thank you for the stroke of my head, appreciate it. And but there was, what was our point? I don't even know where I was going with that. What was our initial point? What was he talking about here? Rapid fire, fucking man. I done lost my damn point. Raquel was somewhere, and I tried to meet him. I went to Mount Everest, and he was still down in the valley, and shit.
I got one thing. I'm reversing on you. What about you?
Oh, nice. Yeah, what will you die for, baby?
Listen to the album.
I
Oh, that's
like
a
that,
good one.
and I like that
Yeah,
answer.
that's a
And I
good
like that
one.
answer.
Yeah.
To be continued.
Okay. So this isn't gonna be the end thing every time, but I thought of it at the beginning. So welcome to the new, or one of the new things, the Bridging the Gap quiz show. Bridge pretty.
Whisper.
Bridge pretty.
Oh,
Like Jeopardy.
You know what, Matt? Please do this. Get a close up of my face right now. I'm instructing you to
I
do this.
will. And I'm your
Okay,
host.
good.
I'm
I
your
hope that
host.
he's really panned in good at my reaction right there. Like,
I'm your host, Chef Mac Trebek.
Wow.
So,
he's going there.
He's going all the way in.
He's going all the way in.
so it's gonna be the Perrys against the 252.
Oh, this feels more like Family Feud. This is like Family Feud than Jeopardy. All right.
So the rules. I ask 15 questions. They're general knowledge, like relatively, like You should be able to answer that.
Wait, am I
Okay,
sharp?
let's go.
We get too far out, are we? I don't even know.
Y'all should be good.
Okay.
But the general knowledge questions, we get 15. That way there can't be a tie.
Okay.
If you want to answer, you grab Abigail. So I need there to be like an equal space between. So y'all.
So whoever grabs Abigail first,
Yes,
kind of like the
yes.
button pressing thing. Me and Rocky will be fighting.
All right. So, who's gonna be the grabber?
Well, obviously us two. We're grabbing for each other's team here. Yeah.
Okay. So for the first question, I have all the questions and the answers. In Greek mythology, who turned everything that he touched into gold?
Midas.
All right.
Yes. Aries.
Aries have 1 point.
Come on, man.
we gotta get in there,
Midas touch. All right.
He's going.
All right. What is the Hunchback of Notre Dame's name?
What is it?
Come on, Scooby.
Hey, I have no fucking clue.
What's his name?
Oh wait, it goes to him, and then after that us.
Yeah, I have no clue.
I don't know. I thought he knew.
We ready. We ready.
Hunchback?
We ready. We ready.
Hunchback.
The Hunchback?
Yes, Hunchback of Notre Dame. You heard the question one.
I don't fucking
You're
know.
supposed to know these.
All right.
That was
Hesitation and hesitate.
Quasimodo.
Yep, that's 2 points to the
Oh, his
Paris.
name was Quasimodo.
252 suck. 252 ain't got nothing on 662.
Whoa.
No disrespect.
Whoa, y'all better put some points on the board before I give y'all some respect. You talking about some whoa, and zero. God damn it,
All
hey.
right. Who wrote all of the Harry Potter books?
Bill. J.K. Rowling.
Damn it.
Oh, that was a good
That's
one.
3.
We got it.
That's 3 to the Paris.
No, I gotta get my.
Okay.
Gotta work on my. You know what I mean?
What is the name of the fairy in Peter Pan?
Tinkerbell. Damn
There
it.
you go.
All right. I give him that. Actually, I didn't know that.
I had to think.
Yeah, I was
I
kind
had
of
to
thinking
think,
about that
yeah.
one for a second, so I wouldn't have been able to really go
I
there.
was thinking about a boat.
Okay.
It's good malicious.
So that's question number 4. It's 3 to 1.
Alright.
All right.
According to the old proverb, to which European capital city do all roads lead?
Rome.
Harry's got it. Harry's got it.
I knew that one.
Read. Y'all need to read.
Yo, like if you know it, bro.
Got you. Oh, yeah, I do.
And Rome, boy, you know what I'm saying?
I know,
He has a
right?
Roman theory and didn't even know.
See, like, I want to help y'all out because I'm from the 2.
Yeah, you-
Oh, no. Bias.
Wait, we
The
only
judge is biased.
We only have 2 more, right, to answer before.
Not 15 questions.
But no, wait a minute now. We ain't got to answer all 15 to win this thing.
No, you have to answer 8 to win.
So,
y'all are
3
at
more.
4 more.
4 more. Yeah, let's get the math right over here.
Yeah.
We ain't got to put all 15 right
Now y'all know.
Yeah, that's
I did that one time. That ain't work.
Yeah, we both reached. There was one time
Okay,
we both reached.
this is a math one. What is the total number of dots on a pair of dice?
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
What?
Is that your final
Oh,
answer?
hell no.
Nah, it's gotta be like 1, 3, 7. Damn, I fucking know. What's the phone at?
No calculators.
Like 6 for sure.
All right, y'all got 5, 4, 3, 2.
36.
Nope.
Damn.
18.
18.
Nope. 42.
I was thinking the same thing, because I was like, okay, 5, 6, 11. Da-da-da-da-da.
Pair of dice.
Oh, pair!
I'm
No,
thinking.
42.
Okay, I missed that. I was thinking 1.
That was tricky, Hunter. The language was ambiguous.
That was a good one.
Yeah. No, he did say pair.
I'm sitting here trying to do shortcuts in my head.
Okay, still 4 to 1.
Okay.
All
Gotta
right.
come back.
I know.
The judge is biased as hell, man. What's going on?
Yeah, I know I need to get 1 at least.
We need to get
What?
Now I understand what they mean about when Jordan get the referees to cheat for him. This is what's happening over here. I want y'all to win. What's going on?
What does a Geiger counter detect?
What does a what?
Geiger counter detect.
Seismic activity?
I'm not sure of that.
A Geiger?
Geiger.
You got me there, big
I
dog.
have to guess like air.
No.
Radi-
Radiation.
Radiation.
Okay,
Okay.
the Geiger
And
one.
it sounds like that too.
Yeah.
That was question number 7.
Okay.
Got 8 more. Still have a chance. Y'all are in the lead.
4-1?
4-1.
Okay.
Bro, we gotta get 4. four of them. You know what I
Like
mean?
back.
Right,
Yeah.
like we're starting right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
All right. I know we talked about it. Babe Ruth is associated with what sport?
Motherfucker.
Oh, now we both
you
got
gonna get that too, bro? You gonna get that too, bro? I got the foot.
Okay.
Baseball.
I'm
No,
gonna
we ain't had that
pick a number.
conversation.
I've got my number. Pick a number 1 through 5.
7.
6.
1 through 5.
Oh wait. Oh, 5. 5. Yeah, I went after school and it said 6.
Okay.
2. All right.
So y'all get the.
So 2, 4.
Baseball. Let's get it.
All right. 2, 4.
All right.
2 4 2 4.
Okay.
I'm sure he had to feel good about that. He's a baseball man.
You know what I mean?
All right. Who directed the movie Jaws?
No.
Steven Spielberg.
5-2.
Come on, they talk Gen X language there,
Hey,
man.
man, I'm not a movie buff, man. That's you, Scooby.
Yeah, Spielberg
I know,
movie
Get your head in the
buff.
game, man.
But Scooby like
Short
serious
forward,
movies.
man. Get your head in the game. Take that front. Short forward.
All right. Including the Jokers, how many cards are in the deck?
Get that motherfucker. 54.
Oh, damn, you would have.
Man.
No, I'm saying he would have beat me because I was thinking 52.
I was thinking.
Including the Jokers.
But including the Jokers. Including the Jokers.
5-3.
5.
Okay.
We got 3 more
We're
shots.
making it close. We're making it close.
3 more questions. Y'all have to get all 3 to win.
Nigga D.
Okay.
Well, we got to get all 3 to win.
Y'all only have to get 1 more to win.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
okay.
Right. My bad.
All right, Bill, you got to move your hand. You're a little close there.
Right. You like, you know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
All right. In 1963, what famous president got assassinated?
Okay.
Come on, baby. John F. Kennedy. Or should I be more thorough? John Fitzgerald Kennedy.
That was close.
All right.
All right, so
Good game, y'all. That was a good game.
I am
anyway.
going to ask the final 2 because they are
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
Yeah, just ask them anyway.
That was close.
Yeah, that was
Well,
fun.
what-
That was fun.
Yeah. All love for 252. Y'all know I was tripping. It's all great.
Okay.
Rap battle though, we got you.
662. Okay. 662. But now Shy got New York leanings. All right. Now y'all, I got New York. Come on, baby. You know the roots. But anyway.
So we got to congratulate the Perrys. You know,
Thank you.
That was a good game.
Congratulations, y'all. All right. Appreciate you having again with your sexy self.
Yeah.
So the last 2 questions. Which Roman emperor supposedly fiddled while Rome burned?
Oh, Nero.
Yep.
Nice. Shy with the academic knowledge. All right. And what's the last one?
Who was known as the Maid of Orleans?
Orleans?
Marie
Oh,
LeBeau.
no, you know.
Joan of Arc.
Oh!
That's so Marie LeBeau is actually like a Buddha.
Yeah. I like Joan of Arc.
So congratulations to the Perrys. You know, y'all
Well, congratulations all around.
Hey, bro, you asking questions, bro.
I say Geiger meters and stuff. You know what I'm saying? The distance of Pluto from the Earth and what the.
you. But if I was on your team, we would have kicked ass.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, because you constructed questions. What if I would have wrote the goddamn questions? Maybe you wouldn't have kicked so much
These are off
ass.
the internet.
Yeah.
I knew everyone but one.
All right, we gonna test Mac since Mac think he's so smart.
Here.
Mac, we gonna test Mac. Well, I ain't gonna use this. I'm gonna ask Mac some random stuff.
Okay.
Let me see. What sea animal is amongst all of them that can get pregnant that are male?
Seahorses.
God damn you, Mac! That's right. Shit. He was right. He's the bitch. I mean the bitch, the man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that. I meant to say the man, the bitch. I meant to say the man.
Wow.
A Freudian slip. I'm sorry. I meant to say the man. He's the man, not the bitch. God damn it. But no, that was fucking impressive. I really didn't think he was gonna get that.
That was good. You're
All
smart.
right.
Yeah.
You know who I stole that from, right? You remember Holly Peel? I think was somebody
yeah.
who introduced that
Yeah.
to us and stuff. Yeah. So that's probably where he got the answer, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, we're gonna one of these Bridge 2 vlogs is gonna be Trivial Pursuit. We'll see how
That would actually be fun. That would actually be fun. I'd be down with that.
But like I
But
said,
anyway, with all that said, we need to focus back on Raquel, our fantastic guest for this evening.
first guest to ever
Right
travel.
here is to travel. Right down here from the 252 North Carolina, right here. What part of North Carolina?
I'm in Charlotte now.
All right.
704.
704.
252.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's a difference there. 704, 252. Okay, all right. So Bridging the Gap, Bill Shive. What's the
Not so slim Scooby.
Not So Slim Scooty and Chef Mac? And glad you guys enjoyed this one. This has been a fantastic one. And now let's go do the socials.
Make sure y'all go to all the social medias, get tapped in and tuned in. I'm at Scooby the Kid 252. It's at Chef Mac 1523, at Oso Shy, at Bill.
Oh, so shy 11. I messed that up. That's it is an 11.
Thank you.
7-11. Oso, oh, not damn. Bill.
7-11.
Yeah, my favorite number 7. I was like one of those stars that was like not supposed to come out, but it just did. At Bill _ Perry and at Rock Nozar.
Boom.
Boom.
Like, okay, KNOWS.
Yeah.
LL?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those
KNOWS.
Bridging the Gap.
guys like to die for.
And at Bridge the Gap 77.
Like that.
Thank y'all so much for enjoying this episode. Peace out.